Good day everyone, I am Angelo Joaquin C. Ascan and I will be presenting on the topic of grammar and style as part of Module 4, Editing Communication Materials of DEVCOM 206. This presentation will cover key concepts in grammar, writing style, and common errors to avoid in written communication. Let us begin by defining grammar. So I'm sure you've encountered this word multiple times before. According to Merriam-Webster, grammar is the study of words, their functions, and their relationships within a sentence. Britannica further explains that grammar is the set of rules that govern the sounds, words, and sentence structures of a language, ensuring that communication is clear and structured. It serves as the foundation for all effective written and spoken language. In addition to grammar, we must also consider the role of a style guide. A style guide is a set of guidelines designed to ensure that writing follows a specific format. It standardizes elements such as citations and references, and it is often referred to as a branding guide in certain contexts. Style guides are particularly important in academic and professional writing, where consistency and accuracy are crucial. Some of the most commonly used writing style guides in academia include the APA 7th edition, MLA style, and the Chicago style. These guides provide comprehensive rules for formatting academic papers, ensuring uniformity in areas such as citations, references, and overall structure. So, in my experience, the most common writing style guide that I've been using is the APA 7th edition. Now, let us discuss the 12 most common writing errors that often undermine clarity in written communication, according to the Writing Center at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I will discuss each one of these errors in the next few slides. The first, we have sentence fragments. You have to ensure a group of words you have punctuated as a sentence contains a grammatically complete and independent thought that can stand alone as another sentence. Here is an example below. In the incorrect sentences, a new sentence starts at the word although. To correct this, you have to replace the period after the word destination with a comma, since the following phrase cannot stand alone as its own sentence. The next one is sentence sprawl. This happens when too many equally weighted phrases and clauses produce unnecessarily long sentences. Here is an example below. As you can see, the incorrect sentence has too many clauses. To correct this, we have reduced the clauses so we can make the sentence more clear. Next is misplaced and dangling modifiers. We need to place modifiers near the words they describe. In the incorrect example below, which says, "We serve spaghetti to the children on paper plates," it's like you're saying that the children are on the paper plates. Here is a correct sentence. "We serve the children spaghetti on paper plates." Next, we have faulty parallelism. Be sure you use grammatically equal sentence elements to express two or more matching ideas or items in a series. Here we have an example. If he wins the election for mayor, he plans to solve the growing traffic problem, more efficient public transportation, and road safety. What's incorrect there? As you can see, in the following clauses, there are no verbs. Here is a correct version. If he wins the election for mayor, he plans to solve the growing traffic problem, enact a more efficient public transportation system, and advocate for enhanced road safety. Next, we have unclear pronoun reference. All pronouns must clearly refer to definite referents or nouns. Here's the example below. After Ivan helped Mark move the cabinet upstairs, he was exhausted. Who was exhausted? Was it Ivan or was it Mark? It isn't clear who was exhausted in that sentence. Here is a correct version. After Ivan helped Mark moved the cabin upstairs, Ivan was exhausted. As you can see, it's clear who was exhausted in that sentence. Next, we have incorrect pronoun case. You need to determine whether the pronoun is being used as a subject or an object or a possessive in the sentence and select the pronoun form to match. Here's an example. Tensions have been rising between she and I after discovering her true colors a while back. The correct version is, tensions have been rising between her and I after discovering her true colors a while back. Next, we have omitted commas. Use commas to signal non-restrictive or non-essential material to prevent confusion and to indicate relationships among ideas and sentence parts. Here's an example below. Alice Guo, also known as Guo Haping, is allegedly accused of being a Chinese spy. It sounds weird, right? Because there are no commas to make pauses on those clauses. Here's a correct version of that sentence. Alice Guo, also known as Guo Huaping, is allegedly accused of being a Chinese spy. Now this is an error that is opposite to the omitted commas error, which are superfluous commas. Unnecessary commas make sentences difficult to read. Here's an example below. This route, once operated by a defunct airline, is now being served by a low-cost carrier. It sounds weird, right? Here's a correct version. This route, once operated by a defunct airline, is now being served by a low-cost carrier. Now we have a clearer sentence. Next, we have comma splices. Do not link two independent clauses with a comma. Instead, use a period or semicolon or rewrite the sentence. Here's an example below. I find reading as my pastime while waiting for classes. I often spend time in the library every day. So what's wrong with that sentence? Well, instead of using a period, you use the comma after the word classes. So the correct version would be like this. I find reading as my pastime while waiting for classes, period. I often spend time in the library every day. So now you have two sentences, since both of these clauses are independent and you can use them as standalone sentences. Next, we have apostrophe errors. Apostrophes indicate possession for nouns but not for personal pronouns. Apostrophes also indicate omissions in contractions, such as its, which is shortened for it is. Here is an example below. You're going to get the boot from the manager once they find out about your performance. So what's wrong here? The spelling of your, which should be you are, although it sounds like your with the contraction of you, contraction re. Here's the correct version. You are going to get the boot from the manager once they find out about your performance. Next, we have words easily confused, which is pretty self-explanatory. Here's an example. To break even, they would have to sell their cookies at a higher markup. As you can see, the word break, as in B-R-A-K-E, was used here instead of B-R-E-A-K. You can easily get confused by that because they sound the same. So a correct version of that sentence is to break even, B-R-E-A-K hyphen even, they would have to sell their cookies at a higher markup. And last but not the least, we have misspellings. We have tackled this a little bit in the previous slide. Here's an example below. The event organizers had to add more chairs to accommodate everyone who had arrived late at the venue. As you can see, the word accommodate is spelled wrong. It should have two C's and two M's. So here's a correct version of that sentence on the right. And to prevent this from happening, you might want to be more vigilant when it comes to typing your words correctly, as well as using electronic spell checks. As I conclude this presentation, I would like to pose a couple of guide questions for you to answer in the discussion forum. First, what is your stand on the use of AI-powered grammar checkers such as Grammarly in the way you write? And second, what is your most preferred writing style and why? Here are the references I used in the presentation for you to look at. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.